I had tried a couple of PhD writing programs, like coaching programs, but it wasn't really helping me, to accelerate. Then I saw your video, I think on the YouTube one day. You were explaining how to write a literature review, and it was eye-opening for me. So that's why I got in touch with you, and I think you had a short interview, and free session. And even through the free session, I was able to learn, and you were like giving me the concrete tips.
So, Rinko, congratulations! You've just finished a PhD. You're now Dr. Kinoshita. How does it feel?
Well, it was very emotional. Last month in April, I was in Cape Town, South Africa, to attend my graduation ceremony with my second and third daughters, including a baby. My third daughter is now 3 months. She was 2 months. Yeah, I was very emotional, and I was, looking back all the long journey, and I was very proud of myself, and also appreciation to all the people who helped me. You, Marek, my supervisors, my classmates. So yes, it was a great feeling, really like accomplished feeling.
I can imagine. Absolutely. How long was the journey for you, the PhD journey?
Well, I have done it 7 years. It took me for 7 years. And normally in my school, there is a regulation that PhD students must finish their degrees within 5 years. So I had to extend 2 more years for many reasons. Because I have been working for the United Nations, full-time work, demanding work. And during the 7 years period, I had to move internationally 3 times. So I was in Nicaragua when I started my PhD, and I was going to do the research in Nicaragua. Then for my work, I was transferred to Burkina Faso. So I had to write another proposal to do something about adolescents in Burkina Faso. Then finally, when I had to submit the proposal just a couple of months ago, prior to submitting the proposal, my professor won the research grant to do the early adolescent study in Cape Town. So she said, okay, why don't you, come and analyze this data? Because for my study in Burkina Faso, I was going to self-fund. I had to fund everything by myself, while this study in Cape Town was already funded. So I had to change again the proposal, and it was like in a rush. We are having the deadline 3 months, and in 3 months, and I had to change the topic. So so that was one reason. And then I had a baby in 2018. My second one was born, and then now just a couple of months ago, in February, my third one was born. So, that's family obligation. I have 3 daughters and all the move and full-time work. So it took me 7 years. In addition to that, we had a COVID pandemic. So my study, we are going to collect data from 1,000 early adolescents from 11 to 14 years old in Cape Town. But because of the pandemic, we had to suspend the data collection because of the schools. The school had to close in March 2020. So we are able to collect only 569 adolescents data. So all these factors played around, and I had to extend. But finally, after 7 years, I'm done. I have been able to complete my PhD.
So the accomplishment must be, or the feeling must be so much greater as well, like bearing in mind all those challenges, right?
Yeah. I don't know how many times I wanted to give up, and I really didn't want to extend my study. I had to finish within 5 years. And normally, if you exceed 5 years, you have to pay the penalty to the school. So first year extension, the 6th year, the penalty was free because of the pandemic. The university said you are exempted to pay the penalty. But then last year, it was my 7th year, so I had to pay the penalty. But the school told me that, I came so far and I wanted to drop out. So school paid my penalty, and also school supported my copy editing service for my final thesis, because they didn't want me to drop out. So yeah, all the supports. I also felt that I came so far, I came so far, and all the sacrifices, even including my family, so I couldn't stop doing that. And yeah, so yeah, I'm very happy that I was able to do, and I learned many lessons learned, from PhD, not only the technical skills, but lessons learned for the life, that I can use from now on. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you maybe share like with other people, how did you manage to like keep on going in the last year or so? And, you mentioned there were so many obstacles and so many moments where you kind of felt, well, I will drop out. And I'm sure there are many other PhD students as well who are going through difficult times and they kind of feel like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to finish it. I will drop out. How did you try to kind of motivate yourself to overcome these difficulties and keep on going?
Right. Yeah. I think first, we shouldn't forget about what was the motivation, why we are doing this, why we need to get PhD. For my case, now I'm working for the United Nations, but when I retire, I would like to have a professor job because my passion is teaching, doing the international research to improve adolescent sexual and reproductive health, the public health. So that's my passion, and I'm very interested in continue doing academic work, and really like bridging the evidence and the practice. How can we use the evidence in the practical manner for the policy, health policy, and to do the intervention with adolescents to improve their health. So that was my motivation. And in order to have a tenure professor job, one must have a PhD, So that was my purpose. And then second motivation was my work. We work as a UNFPA, we work for improving adolescent sexual and reproductive health, which was very close to my topic of my PhD thesis, and also gender norms. So for me to do this PhD, I would be able to learn so much technical skills, knowledge, and also the evidence that eventually I would like to, apply these evidences in my work. So that was my second motivation. And then thirdly, I just wanted to remind myself that the data that we collected, it's coming from early adolescents. We had more than 550 early adolescents who responded to our questionnaires. We had also a research team on the ground in Cape Town who are working, they are working tirelessly every day to collect data. And so if I would not, have analyzed the data, what was the meaning of their effort, So I really wanted to analyze the data and share the evidence. So that was like kind of like returning to them, to the early adolescent who used their time and effort, my research team who was working, in Cape Town tirelessly. So yeah, these three things always kept myself motivated. So I think the purpose is very important. And if you are like in the middle of the PhD program, just celebrate what you have done so far, like small milestones. And then you don't feel like you can quit, now. So yeah,
that's beautiful. Yeah, having that greater purpose and greater meaning to your work, I think keeps us going. For me, for example, when it comes to to academic English now, the business that I run and PhD Accelerator, the program, like it's for example celebrating those stories like you that you managed to succeed, and seeing other people publish papers, finish their PhDs. That gives you some sort of meaning, right? That it's not just, you're not doing it just because of yourself, but there is a greater purpose for it, So whenever there are moments that you feel like, yeah, I think I might need to quit, then you remind yourself, you see like all these other people like who are succeeding, doing the PhD, doing the papers, and you kind of feel like, yeah, no, I shouldn't quit. I should quit. It's difficult, but I'm going to continue going also for the other people out there. So yeah, I think that's beautiful that you had a purpose like that. And I think when did we meet, Rinko? Was it about a year ago now or something like this?
Yeah, I think about 1.5 years ago. Yeah, you came in.
Yeah.
In my journey. Yes.
So I know that there have been a lot of challenges throughout. So what was going on, at that time, or what were like one or two biggest struggles that you had at that time?
Yeah, I remember at that time I was writing a literature review chapter, and I thought that I was making the best effort, and I had so many articles already selected, and I put them in the Atlas TI, which is a qualitative software, because so I thought that maybe people are using Excel sheet to classify your articles. And then I thought that because I had this skill to use Atlas TI, some people are using Atlas TI to classify articles and code the articles. So I spent hours and hours coding the articles, and then I started writing the literature reviews chapter. But then when I submitted the chapter, the first draft to my supervisors, it was really bad, like they wouldn't tell you that it was bad, but so many comments. English writing was not good. My professor even said that I have to hire a copy editor, even for the earlier draft, to copy edit, because it's not her job to copy edit. So I was like, okay, but early draft will be changing so much, as the draft goes through second and third and maybe like 10th iteration, and why I have to ask for copy editors, But, I also know that English is not my native language, and I have been working for United Nations for more than 15 years, so my academic writing wasn't so good. So that's when I started looking for the support, and I have tried, before getting to you, I had tried a couple of PhD writing programs, like coaching programs, but it wasn't really helping me, to accelerate. Then I saw your video, I think on the YouTube one day. You were explaining how to write a literature review, and it was eye-opening for me. So that's why I got in touch with you, and I think you had a short interview, and free session. And even through the free session, I was able to learn, and you were like giving me the concrete tips. And why I wanted to invest in your program was that you told me that, this program is a lifelong. I would be able to access to your tools and classes, like courses, until I finish everything. Not only the PhD, but also after PhD, I wanted to publish papers. So I thought, I would be able to use your support even beyond the PhD program. And then secondly, you said you are not providing copy editing, but you review and you give me what are the mistakes that I tend to make, So it's like you are building my capacity in academic writing that will stay in me, because when copy editor edit, we in track change, we just accept and then we submit. Not like this, And so that's why I decided to go for it, your program. And I really appreciate it. And I was very lucky to have met you, and Marek, you supported me so much to be able to complete my PhD.
Thank you. No, and I feel very lucky myself to have been working with you, because I've seen you, grow so much and overcome so many struggles, and now seeing you graduate is fantastic, really.
If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to get some more personalized help when writing and publishing your research papers, then schedule a free one-to-one consultation. We're going to dive deeper into your challenges and also pinpoint your exact goals and outline a personalized strategy and a plan for you that will help you to overcome your challenges and get to your goals much faster. If this interests you, then the link to schedule a free one-to-one consultation is right below this video.
So what would be like one or two most important things that you've learned in the last year while working together when it comes to finishing your thesis?
I think the time management. You taught me not only about academic writing, but how one can manage the time, because, I had my full-time job, and oftentimes I have to be working over the weekend, overtime, beyond the working hours. So I have to manage my work so that at 6 p.m. I can finish my work, and then at night I can work on my PhD thesis, So time management for my work and for my PhD, and also for my family. For example, during the weekend was very precious for me. That was the only time I can really concentrate on my PhD all day. But I have to arrange with my husband, my kids, who will be taking care of my kids all day. And sometimes for me, it was important. Sometimes I take one day off, maybe Saturday, I take one day off. I bring kids to someone's birthday party, and then Sunday I work all day. So that was like planning all three aspects, work, PhD, and my family. So that was the first thing I learned. And you gave me the tools. The second thing I learned is you make a plan, but most of the time it doesn't go as you planned. So you have to be flexible. And what would be the plan B, If, for example, I do the schedule for my week, but then suddenly the work got so busy. So I couldn't achieve my milestone for this week, no? So what should we do? Okay, over the weekend, I need to catch up. But then I have to also revise the schedule for the following week, because I had a delay. So that was the second thing I learned. And then third thing I learned was just reach to the resources available. You have the Q&A calls, you have the courses that were recorded, which are available online. You have the vocabulary sheet, and all the tables that you posted on the site. I don't know how many times I went back to that, to use these tools. And also, you are always available, when I had to talk to you, like just have a chat with you, you are available through the Q&A course. And also my supervisors, My supervisor and me, we had to be in a cross communication, and I had to share also my timeline. Professors are also like very busy, So we had to be like adjusting each other's priorities. So that was the sad thing that I learned.
Fantastic. And I really like that time management aspect, because it's a transformation, as you said, not just for your PhD, but also for work. And, it's a skill, I suppose, you can use in any area of your life. And just to end, Rinko, on a final note of advice for any PhD students who might be listening to us, and maybe that they're also thinking, yeah, this is too much for me. I'm going to quit tomorrow. I can't take it anymore. My literature review is really bad. This is just too much. I'm quitting. What would you say to them? What advice would you give to those PhD students?
Well, I would say that, the improvement is not progressive, Sometimes you have to go behind, like you it's not like going like this, every day you can improve, or every day you can build a bricks. It's not like that, Sometimes you feel like, I cannot make it. Am I really like improving my skills, So that is normal. But once, I think you need to stick to it, you need to hang in there, because I know how you feel when you submit first and second and third draft of literature review, and your supervisors are not satisfied still. But you just stick to it, remind why you are doing this, remind so many people are supporting you. If you reach out, resources are available, and, think about why your PhD is important, how you can contribute to the society through your PhD. So that would be my tip and lessons learned. Don't give up and stick to it, hang in there, and reach out to Marek or any other, support network you have, your supervisors, talk to your supervisors, and one day you will see the exit of the tunnel. Suddenly it comes, It's a long journey, but suddenly I saw the exit of the tunnel, and then I was like running towards the end of the journey, and I did it.
If you've enjoyed this video and you would like to get some more personalized help when writing and publishing your research papers, then schedule a free one-to-one consultation. We're going to dive deeper into your challenges and also pinpoint your exact goals and outline a personalized strategy and a plan for you that will help you to overcome your challenges and get to your goals much faster. If this interests you, then the link to schedule a free one-to-one consultation is right below this video.